So just bought a new tool. I had one of these, but long story, it ended up breaking. This is a new one, and decided to treat myself. I think first off, I love how they put it in a case, but it really is useless. But I'm just interested in the tool, so it's a new one. Oh, dropping, and I bought a spare battery. So it's the new one with the, I only really use that. I don't use the little bikini line trimmer part to it. I use this one, and it's got a new charger and a new battery. So look forward to using this. They are a bit of a joke in terms of they are very, very homeowner, but I actually find them really useful just for those small little topiary shrubs or little potted up buxuses. Yeah, everything's got its time and place in this world, and I always have time for this. So this lives up there to be forgotten about. This, unfortunately, will go in the skip because I just do not use it at all. The charger, it's a lot better charger than the other one. That will go into the house, and here's the unit itself with the usual two-stage sort of trigger thing. I've already got grease on it, but no, I like them. I do. They, like I said, they aren't for everybody. But this one has got the battery indicator on it, which is showing up in 1 bar, which is fine. It's a new tool at the end of the day. But I always just tuck it. It does live up there, and it stays up there, and that's where it's going to live. So on with the rest of the day, guys. So organised chaos, but also been spending again. So decided to treat myself to, well, the business, should I say, the GTA 40 or GT40. You can actually say it's on the box. So yeah, GTA 40, cool. So it comes in a nice little bloke. This isn't a review, by the way. There's been a lot of talk about reviews online and with YouTube. For me, I only ever try and give my opinion. I am trying to switch over to giving opinions based on months of ownership opposed to first impressions. But even with first impressions, it is a first impression at the end of the day. So, you know, what can you say about it? It feels solid. I think, I'm sure I've read somewhere that this is the professional or professional grade. If I'm being honest with you, I think it's, well, I think the price point is priced at professionals, but I think for you know, for us guys, who knows really. But the only problem is, and I have seen it there, I just thinking to myself, has it got a battery indicator? It has. But the reason I picked this, so I was going to get a top handle saw, but I picked this because it's that little bit narrower and it can get into places. And now, is this safer than a top handle saw? I don't know. I feel a little bit safer with this. But then again, I don't pick a tool up and think I'm going to hurt myself. So yeah, bought this. I got 2 batteries. I bought the kit. Admittedly, I'd love it if companies gave you the option to just get it all loose, because I'm going to put this here, and then this is going to live into here with its sheath on. The charger is going to go stay at home. This little wedding ring that they gave me, I have no idea what that's for, whether that goes into there. Again, that will sort of be lost. I may as well throw it away now. And then the case, well, you can take the inners out. It'd be nice if Stihl sold something that you could put into that and turn it into something, but the case will probably end up on eBay. I don't need the case. So yeah, I'm gonna get the batteries charged up, and I also bought it because it's got the twin charger, because I've got another one of them batteries knocking around somewhere. So yeah, a little bit of a first sort of overall opinion on it. As I said, these aren't for everybody. I can't imagine every gardener going out and getting them. But like I said, it's a niche tool. Oh, and by the way, I bought it with my own money. I don't think Stihl ever touched me with a partnership, unfortunately. Love to, but no. This is bought with my own money, my own hard-earned money, and it's going to be used as such for my business. So yeah, see you in a bit, guys. On to the next part. So, interesting job this morning. This needs power washing, but with the hindsight of getting it in ready for paint. So it's going to be turbo nozzle, and it's going to be trying to get all this paint off. So it's going to be a very messy job. I think there's going to be a lot of clean up, but like anything, it's all fun, isn't it, guys? So I'll show you. That's it. It's not a huge area, to be fair, but like I said, turbo nozzle, and just see how we get on. So, has it cleaned it? Sort of. It's got it ready for paint. So all this paint's been flaking off, and she just wanted the best chance for it to adhere. In a way, it would have been nice for it to take it all off, but I did think, and she did say she used good paint, so it's been painted a few times. So the paint, what you're seeing, is the first stuff, which she said was some like ex-industrial paint. So as such, it's pretty hardcore. And the stuff that's flaked off everywhere is just the old crappy paint. But it's the best shot, really. I think the only other course to get it all off, or the rest of it off, would be to angle grind it, wire brush or something, but it's not going to happen. Power wash it, and then another coat of paint, and just keep doing that if it needs it. So, on to the next job, guys. Whew. So, that's one job busted off. Setting number 5, and just mulched everything. So, well, I say mulched, I forgot the plug, so I just filled the box until it's full. But I see a lot of people bagging on about the Stihl mowers, but to be fair, for me, they've always done well, and they've always done really well. I've left this little bit, it's just full of moles, it's just knackering the mower, but no, really happy with it. So this property is well, it's an as and when cutback, so as you can imagine, it's fun, but it is what it is. But the interesting fact about this was I used to see a little old man push mow this. Obviously, he was on top of it, obviously. When I saw him, he was doing probably weekly, fortnightly cuts. But he used to push mow this with a plug-in. So, like I said, I've just talked about a 6 series mower that's, you know, £1,000 plus. But a little old guy with determination, and I dread to think the size of the extension cord, he'd mow this. The camera's zoomed out, but I suppose that's a truer sense of scale, but it's a big property, so, you know, I suppose credit where credit's due at the end of the day, guys. On to the next job. Right, here's one for you then, guys. So, this is what I call almost a hospital job, and what I mean by that is we're just keeping on top of it. So the story is that the chap he's in hospital, or no, he's in an old folks home now, that's it. And so the property's just been literally just kept on top of, just on tick over. So like I said, it's just coming and literally keeping on top of it. So taking the weeds off, you know, trim them off, come back in a few weeks, give them a spray when they're coming up as young ones. And literally, it's not the bare minimum, but it's one of them where it's a good from afar but far from good job, if that makes sense. Just keep it on top of it for the customer, so when it is done, it's not as bad. But funny enough, I remember talking about this, and I'll probably include this in like a little bit of a van chat after this, but this is a job that the bloke did his nut after I finished. But he's in a home now, so I'll deal with his daughter. So like I said, it's just lawn, literally, the lady even says trim the borders, you know what I mean? It's literally keeping on top of it, just keeping everything where it's down, and like I said, just keeping on top of it. So we'll get cracking, guys. So all done. Like I said, it's just literally keeping a tidied, managed appearance. So at some point it will have to be done, but today is not that day. Like I said, it's a once a month coming, just keeping on top of it for them. So see you in the next job, guys. So Sam from the future, also Sam in the camper van. So I forgot to include it to the van chat, but I'll tell you the story now. So I did so that's her father's place. I did it so I think I did a YouTube, or talked about it on a YouTube video. This was a few years ago now. I've done her property for a good while, and it's always a monthly visit every 4 weeks. She's a brilliant customer, can't complain about her. She sent me round to her dad's place, and well, she said, Dad needs a garden, can you go around and do it for us? I said, no problem. Went round, how I quote is go round, find out what the customer wants, discuss the work with the customer. I will then give them a price there and then. I will then send them across or give them a quote in paper there and then book them in, normally sort of that same evening. My reasoning behind that is I haven't got my diary with me normally, but it's that little, it's not a cooling off period, but you know what I mean. So I booked him in, went and did the work for him, and same again, what I generally tend to do with most of the customers, but I did it with this one, is go through and you know, tell him what I'm going to do. I never make any allusions to time and how long it takes, but I, you know, get the salient points. So your shrub's going to be done, your hedge is going to be done, your lawn's going to be done, board's going to be done, whatever. I will then tell him the price, or the customer the price there again, basically repeat the quote to him, and then I crack on. And in my head, there's no room for mistakes then, is there? They've got all the salient facts, they've got all what they need to know, there's no room for error. So I'll crack on, get it all sorted. Did the work, he come out, he was, you know, really happy, all this sort of stuff. Thank you for that. He showed me some pictures of the place, how it used to look. So that border that you've seen was all planted up with flowers. He used to grow his own flowers in the greenhouse, all the borders. So, you know, even back then it wasn't to what it was, but it was a lot better. When I got there, it looked like that, to be fair, and it looked like that after, but I did the borders, you know, stuff like that. So same arrangement, going every 4 weeks, booked him in, said, look, I'll be back in 4 weeks time. Gave him a call the night before. Oh my days, he went absolutely mental at me. Wallace and Grom's t-shirt. He went nuts. He did his absolute lid. So the conversation went something like, hi, it's Sam the gardener. Who? I said, it's Sam the gardener, you know. Now, hindsight and also prior knowledge, I knew this chap was a bit difficult. His daughter told me he was difficult. Who? I said, it's the gardener. Are you the one who come a bit back? I says, yeah. I don't want you coming to my property. You ripped me off. You had me over. You all did his nut, big style. And, you know, this was, like I said, a few years ago. I'll be honest with you, I took it quite to heart. So I ended up ringing up his daughter to try and get to the bottom of it, because in my head, I'm thinking, shit, I've lost one customer. I can lose another customer who's a regular customer. And especially with what he's saying, oh, you ripped me off, you had me, you charged me, I think it was 90 quid to tidy everything up, you know what I mean, and take a big ton bag of waste, you know, like I said. So it's not a huge amount, you know. I've talked about my quoting processes, and it's 1,000, it isn't, it was like 900 quid. So he went mental. Don't want you to come, all this sort of stuff. So I spoke to his daughter, and she didn't know anything about it, so he's obviously not been spouting off to her about it. She basically said, don't worry about it, let me have a word with him, that's it. Now I didn't bother ringing after that. I did the visit at her place, so obviously I brought it up. I said, look, is he all right? And she said to me that, look, he's a difficult person, basically. He has these things, he has this time when he does it, So he's since gone on from being in and out of hospital to home, to in and out of hospital to in a home, as in not his own home. And that's how the place has been left like that for a couple of years. I think she did have somebody, or he had somebody else in, 'cause obviously he's not going to use me, is he? But in all fairness, there's been no deterioration with the relationship with the customer. That customer I was telling you about. It sounds horrible, but we joke about it. Because, you know, I'll always ask how the father is. I'll always ask how she is. And she'll say, still difficult, all this sort of stuff. Still, you know, a nightmare. So, yeah, I thought I'd just give that little update video. But like I said, it didn't put me off going back to the place because he's not there. So, you know, it's all done through the daughter. So, like I said, she has been and seen it. She's happy with it. I'm happy with it. So, back to the video, guys. Ooh. So, this is a job that I do on a fortnightly basis. It is a gateway. Simple as simple can be, I suppose. Just mow it. And I leave the daffs. They've come up blind this year, but I'll leave them for a few more weeks and then just ask if she wants them cut down. But yeah, simple really. And the reason I mention it is, for me, she's a brilliant customer because there's this every fortnight and other little bits, but she understands about regular maintenance. And also, it's like this. It's, if a place is seen to be managed and tidy, people won't dump stuff on it. They won't fly tip on it. They won't litter. They won't let the dog shit on it. Because they can see that it's been maintained. I've never come across, I think there was once, a little bit there. But if you go further up, you do come across it, and this customer understands that. But also, while I'm here, what's this? So it's new tool time. Now, first off, I do think it looks a bit odd. I think it's got a very strange sort of derpy look to it. Put it on the review table. But yeah, it's not going to be a review. Like I say, it looks very odd. Dare I say phallic-like, or what you'd imagine like horse or donkey. Anyway, but it is good. I've used it for a little bit. I think it's done away with that. I think you knock it on to get it to go, but it's always ready. But there's plenty of power to it, I'd say. There's a lot more power than, so this is the BGA 250. I think there's more power in, well, to me, there's more, well, way more power in this one than the other one that I've got. But then the other one that I've got is 3 years old and knackered. So it's unfair really, but I can tell it's got more power because it pushes my hand back when I use it. The other one doesn't. But yeah, I managed to get it. I picked it up online. It's weird. I rung up one of the dealers nearby to me and said, can you get one in stock? He says, oh well, we don't think we'll be stocking it. I says, why? He says, well, it's not something that we'd sell. I'm like, it's the latest blower they've come out with. He says, yeah, we don't think we'd sell many of them. Well, fair enough. So I got it online, but yeah, we'll see how it goes, guys. And like anything, on with the next job. Oh, so beautiful day, guys. Just finished mulching the borders. So I've put a good seconds. So I'll put a good thick layer all the way around, accompanied by rain. But it's another job that's ticked off. I didn't fancy gardening or mowing lawns in this, but just another little job. The new blower has been really good. It's got different power settings. and if you just hold it all the way up, it goes to full. I just keep it on number 1 because, well, most of my work is literally just blowing a few clippings off the grass, off the edges of lawns and stuff like that. But it has got more than enough oomph to shift what I need to get shifted. The trailer is doing an absolute cracking job. It's one of the upgrades. This thingy. Rigtons, I spotted them, so I went and bought a few cakes. But I left them with my friends. So, on to the next job, guys. So, problems persist as always within this industry. The drive on this one has decided to stop working completely, which isn't the best really, because they're only a small mower, but we've been a roller mower. It's got a lot of drag. So the place I bought it from last year, and I rung them up and they said, look, we'll send you a pallet out, some shrink wrap out, put it on the pallet, shrink wrap it up. It's £35. If it goes against it is a warranty claim, then we will, you know, reimburse you the £35, get it sent back to you. Turnaround time is 2 weeks. I did ring up the dealers in my area. One of them is 4 to 6 weeks, and one of them is a rough 2 to 3 weeks, but he just didn't sound confident at all. That's not a bash at my local dealer network at all. This is a reality. I need it quick, so 2 weeks time, brilliant. So I'll update you on them if it is, and this is where I bought it from online. So I do believe in credit when credit's due, even if you're online. So that leaves me with a dilemma. So I've had to bust out the spare roller mower. I have actually got a second one here, but that's in the hospital wing at the moment. That's currently being done up. As you can tell, I do like the little dinky roller mowers. So I've had to drag that one from down there. I forgot that my brother actually put it up there, and he's a lot more stronger than me. So, and yes, they are heavy. Also, new wheelbarrow. I bought a bow one, and I got a ridiculously good price on it. It's less than half price because there was something wrong with it. I said, well, said the bloke, said, what's up with it? And it's just here, you can see that it kicks in. Compared to this one, see how it kicks in a little bit? So he said, well, you know, I can do you a discount on it. I was like, okay. As I said, you know, less than half price, bargain. And I tell you what, they are absolutely built like a tank. I told my mate that I bought one, and he said to me that this will outsee me. And I can believe it looking at how well designed it is. And you can see my old one compared to that one. There's a lot more metal on this one, a lot more support. So we'll see on it. So like I said, this year it's all about getting the kit. You can see that the container is starting to look a little bit full, but I'll sort that out later. The question on my lips at the moment is this mower that's been in storage for a year going to, well, yeah, a year actually, because it's about a year old, the other one. So we'll fire it up and we'll see if I'm going to be mowing with this or the ego mower, which I don't want to be doing. So let me get it all set up. So we'll put some fresh gasoline in it. Now normally big puddle here, I would put in some, oh shit, a bit of 3-in-1. She's as square as she is. I normally put a bit of 3-in-1 in, not 3-in-1, sorry, that easy start stuff, just to give it that little bit of a boost. But for some unknown reason, it's decided it doesn't want to live with me anymore, and I can't understand why. So that's gone, which is great. It's blooming good stuff, to be fair. I know what people say, that the machine can become almost addicted to it, but in my experience, it just gets it going. So, like I said, been in a year, which does feel a bit crusty, so we'll just give it, let me put the box on actually. Will it start the first pull? It won't. Ooh, she's got life. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. It's got a squeak. This is why I like the little stinky Stihl roller mowers. They do seem to last. I'm hoping that the one that's got the drive problem, I hope it's something of, well, I hope it's covered under warranty. It should be. It's less than a year old, but it's only been used on one lawn, home lawn. So anyway, I'll see you in a bit, guys. So this is today's job, not the wheelbarrow, but we've got this verge all wants cleaving off to an extent, and they just want some mulch, just throwing on it all the way down. So like I said, it's a fairly big area in all fairness, but I'm going to leave the daffodils for another sort of few weeks before I start dealing with them. So from here all the way down, basically, take out these tufts of grass, and then, like I said, all the way down. So there is bits of stuff in here, but nothing, you know, nothing amazing. So all the way down. So this is the one sort of main area, and then there's a little bit of a straggly area here. So deal with that, put that down here. So yes, that's it. So like I said, all the way down. Now this job, the trailer is coming in clutch at this point in time. So I've got a full trailer full of mulch, and it means instead of just carrying this much, we're up to about here. So we're like 50% more. And I did treat myself to a new wheelbarrow, so I've got the bow barrow now. So what we'll do, we'll get it all scraped off, and then we will get it, you know, all prettified. So see you in a bit, guys. Right, so this is this little job done. I had to go and get some more mulch, but it's finished it off quite nicely. So my only problem, or I think the only thing that's going to cause an issue with this, is I am a bit worried that the mulch will roll off and go into this little gully, because you can see where the bank has been doing that. So it's one of them, isn't it? All it is a case of is just flicking it back on, raking it up, and that's why I've left these back bits that little bit more sort of barren, because as I rake this out of the gully, I'm going to then flick it straight back into there to save contaminating this. But like I said, it's come out quite well. It definitely makes it look a hell of a lot better. For me, I always give it a good weeding beforehand, opposed to just putting mulch straight on top of weeds. That always seems to, you know, baffle me. But anyway, so mulch, about a mulch, I say a trailer and a half of mulch. It's got this job nicely wrapped up, so as you can see, it looks a lot better, and hopefully you'll be happy with it. So see you in the next little bit, guys.